Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure. It's always my honor to be greeting you and bringing this message of emancipation to you, pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that was what was taught to Neville Goddard by our ancestor Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia. And so he taught Neville how to build wealth from nothing. And that is what I want to speak to you about, how to build wealth from nothing. And when we look at how we were taught in school and we look at mathematics, we realize that we start counting from zero. Okay? And so when you realize a zero and a circle is actually the same thing, you realize everything comes out of nothingness. And to fully understand this nothingness of which I am speaking, you would one day experience what it means to be one with the wind. You would one day experience what it means to become pure awareness. And you will understand the power of awareness, and also what it means to understand that you're just pure consciousness. It's the same thing, okay? And what it really means to be born again. And when it is said that unless a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. And you're told that if you seek first the kingdom of God and you discover the kingdom of God, that all these things that you so desire in this world, that they will be added unto you. Which means that you will discover the secret of creation and you'll be able to create your reality consciously. Now, true wealth is holistic. If you find true wealth, it doesn't mean money only. It means everything. It means good health. It means wisdom. Okay? It means understanding the phenomena of life. And this was what Abdullah wanted Neville to discover and to teach to the rest of humanity. So Neville, being a young man and being very intuitive, something clicked in him to want to study with Abdullah. And so he began his studies with Abdullah, and he would have studied with Abdullah for about, say, 5 years. And Abdullah also taught him how the whole Bible was put together by teaching him the secret of the Kabbalah. And so, because Abdullah could speak many other languages, including the Hebrew language, he also taught Neville that the language in which the Bible was in its original state, it was a language of symbology. It was the one that you utter from the tongue or speak. Okay, it was symbology. So, when we look at mathematics, which I wouldn't go too deep in it, okay, it's a divine language and it's symbology. And there's a language of symbology. And symbols actually rule and control the world. Many people who understand the esoteric knowledge of the Bible and who knows how certain things have been hidden from the masses, they know that there's symbols all around, but not many people could understand the different symbols, and even they themselves communicate through a lot of symbols. As we know, all around the world there are secret societies and so on, and they work with symbols also. But there's certain things that you can never know intellectually. It must be by experience. And so it was by experience that Neville come to discover how to build wealth from nothing. Because it was a time of a Great Depression. It was around the time of 1933, and the Great Depression started around 1929 and ended around 1939. But Neville had a burning desire. This is how you start with nothing. All you need is a burning desire. All you need is a thought, an idea. That's all you need to start with. Most people believe that you need money to make money or to multiply more money, and fail to realize that money or wealth is all mental, it's all psychological. For everything was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. So Abdullah taught Neville the power of the mind and how everything starts from nothing, and how we are invisible beings being manifested in a visible body. So Abdullah wanted Neville to know this, not by theory, but by experience. So he put Neville in a place of having this desire by seeing him going to Barbados first class in his imagination. Abdullah first did that in his imagination. So when Neville went to Abdullah and told Abdullah what was taking place with him, Abdullah told him that you have already gone to Barbados. Abdullah said, you have already gone to Barbados, and you have gone to Barbados first class. And so days would have passed, weeks would have passed, and Neville wasn't seeing anything manifesting, and he was allowing self-doubt to creep in. But Abdullah assured him all he needed to do is sleep in his mother's home in Barbados while he was residing in New York, that he must do it in his imagination. So he must sleep in his imagination in his mother's home, and must walk the streets of New York as if he's walking the streets of Barbados in his imagination. So he was teaching him that your imagination is God, the creator in everyone. That's why the Bible tells in St. John 1 and 3 that all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Everything that was made, it was first imagined, and everything that ever going to be made must first be imagined. Therefore, that him is not speaking of a man 2,000 years ago. That him is not speaking of a man in the sky. That him is a personification of the human imagination. So most people who believe that the Bible is secular history, they are taking personification for persons and allegory for history. But Abdullah taught Neville Goddard that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically, and that the main character of the Bible is man's imagination. For the eternal body of man is the imagination, and that is God himself. There is no God in the sky and no one outside of yourself. Everything is mental. So, my brother and my sisters, true wealth is knowing yourself, your true self, your higher self, knowing who you are, as I would have said before. And that is why in Luke 17:21 you're told, do not let anyone say to you, lo here or lo there, to discover your Christ self, to discover the coming of your higher self, the revelation of your true self to you. For the kingdom of God is within you, so you have to look within yourself, because it's only when you start to look within yourself you'll be able to think for yourself. Because each and every one of us came into this world in a state of amnesia, which is a state of forgetfulness. And so all the things that we were taught, it was taught to us by our parents, and the same thing was done to our parents by their parents, because they all were born in amnesia and they meet a system set up that way. But until we learn to vibrate beyond the matrix and beyond the system, we'll not be able to come to realize that our true wealth is discovering our true self. That is why you're told you must not be conformed to the world and the system of its thinking, but you must be transformed by the renewing of your mind, which means you must understand the law of mentalism. You must understand how thoughts work. Okay? You must be the Lord and Master of your mind. You must control your mind, because a change of mind is a change of destiny. So if a person living their life and they never understand the law of mentalism, they will never understand what is true wealth. And that is why it is said, what shall it profit a man if he gain his soul and loses his own soul? Which means if he never discover himself, if he never discover his power, if he never discover what is true wealth. That is why a man can have millions and millions of dollars in this world and end up committing suicide, because he's so frustrated, because he would have thought that when he get these things that it will bring happiness. That's why, my brother, my sisters, Abdullah taught Neville how to be happy before you even get these things, before you ever see them manifested. Because why? Feeling is the secret. And as long as you have that feeling, as long as you put thoughts and emotion together, that's all you need. So, my brother, my sisters, all you need is a desire and faith. And faith is being loyal to the unseen. You believe in that which you cannot see, but you have that feeling that you already have it, and you believe it. You will vibrate to that frequency to attract it to you, because everything is already finished, everything is already created, and everything is already here, but you have to vibrate on the frequency. Okay, so the telephone was here already, but someone had to vibrate to that frequency. The automobile was here already, but someone had to vibrate to that frequency. The internet was here already, but someone had to vibrate to that frequency. The computer was here already, but someone had to vibrate to that frequency. That's why everything that was ever been invented, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. So anyone who tells you that there's one God and there's one creator, you have to also tell them that there's only one creative power, and the only creative power there is in this world is the power of imagination. And imagination was before education, because the bench, the desk, the pen, the pencil, all of these things, even the building that they call school, was first imagined. So all things exist in man's imagination, and man discover that and discover his true self. Discover that his real identity is his divinity. This is how he would build wealth from nothing, because we understand that everything starts from nothing. That nothing is that invisible substance. It's like the wind. It's nothing. And then you will understand your nothingness. Your nothingness is coming to your Christ self, not by intellect, okay? Not by reading a book, but by experience. So, my brother, my sisters, true wealth is really and truly finding true happiness, peace, and contentment by discovering your true self, your God self, and you use that power to achieve your every desire, to be of value to humanity. It have nothing to do with you. It have everything to do with solving humanity, because we are here to solve each other, because we are one and we all connected. And that was what Abdullah wanted Neville to understand through experience, so you will be able to teach it to the rest of humanity. And that is why I'm here continuing the work of Abdullah and Neville Goddard, and encouraging you to support our march. And the link is right down below for you. You can check out the link and support this work if what I've been saying been really resonating with you and been helping you in any way. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I just want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. But just before I leave, I just want to remind you, as usual, that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body be full of light. And truly, my whole body was filled with light when the single eye awakes within me, and I change from mortal to immortality in a twinkling of an eye, and experience the rising of the sun in a son, and experience the dawning of a new day in my life. And that is why I always say to you that the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun there is no life, and there is no light, and without the human imagination there isn't anything made that was made. And when you experience that awakened imagination, you will understand why Psalms 84:11 says that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And common sense will teach you that the Son has never withhold any good thing from humanity, for the Son is what powers all of humanity and give all of humanity its energy. That's why the Bible is a song book. Also, my brother and my sisters, you're told in Malachi chapter 1 verses 2, that the Son of Righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And truly, when the Son would have risen in me, I am bringing healing to all of humanity, pointing each and everyone to look inwardly and to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your God power, your creative power, which is actually the sexual power. Use that power to achieve your every desire. For that was the message that was taught to Neville Goddard by Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, our ancestor. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, out.